Welcome back to the first November haul video. So I've got 5 watches with me today and they cost anywhere from 18 to 120 bucks. So a very budget friendly selection. Also, we've got some automatic, some quartz, as well as the hybrid quartz movements, meaning that we get the sweeping seconds hand. But what makes this selection so special is that one of the watches does not get a crystal. There is no glass on top of it. That's it. So that is the cherry on top of this cake. Now, some of these watches are very special and one of them is my ultimate favorite, and I'll tell you about it as we get on through the review. So the links to the listings of these watches are all in the description below the video. Do check them out if you're after some sharp prices. And now let's dive in and talk about these 5 in detail. Let's do it. First of all, let's start with a breathtaking chronograph by Pagani design, the PD1701 for 70 bucks. This is version 4 and a 2024 model. It's in breathtaking sky blue, while the ceramic bezel insert is milky white. Note the hour indices, main dial and sub-dial hands are all white as well. The clinical and austere cleanliness of this setup is surreal. Not only is the PD1701 a visually striking watch, it's a functional daily wearer with many strong points. For example, it features a boxy sapphire crystal. It's not too tall, yet distinctive enough for a classy look. The piece gets 100 meters of water resistance, warranted by a screw-in crown and a screw-down case back. There's a milled and signed clasp with 3 micro adjustments. The watch is a complete stainless steel construction, both with the 3-link bracelet and the case. In regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 42 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 48.5, a height of 14 millimeters, and a lug width of 20, tapering down to 18 millimeters at the clasp. The watch is powered by hybrid quartz movement, the Seiko VH63, meaning the sweeping seconds hand that's set off by the chronograph function gets 0.2 seconds precision. $70 for a multitude of dial and bezel colors combinations available. For number 2, we'll go to a quartz GMT watch for $40, and it is the Addis Dive AD2036. I could play the pretentious game and call out the fact that it is powered by a Swiss movement, yet it's just the Ronda 515 and there's nothing too flash about it. Still, the heritage is solid enough. The stainless steel piece has been sold tens of thousands of times in the last 2 years. It has been presented on AliExpress, but the value we receive is undeniable even today. In regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 40 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 47.2, a height of 12.3, and a lug width of 20 millimeters, tapering down to 16 at the clasp. It sits very snugly on my 6.5-inch wrist. The inspiration of the watch is clear as day with the distinctive hand tips, wide-set lugs, ensuring assertive setup of the watch. The 24-hour steel bezel is brushed, while the outer edge is polished. Most of the case is brushed actually, but the bevel between the flanks and the lug hoods is also polished, adding light play and reflections. This GMT is a sport watch after all, so 200 meters of water resistance are warranted by a signed screw-in crown and a screw-down case back. The only relative shortcut on the piece is a mineral boxed crystal, yet it's offset by a luxurious stainless steel bracelet with decent tolerances and good link fluidity. The clasp is signed, gets 5 micro adjustments and a milled wing. For 40 bucks, quite remarkable value here. At number 3, we'll turn our attention to a Welly Merck, the WM194. This is my favorite in this collection so far. It's a brave move for WM, moving in with the big boys, homaging an iconic and complex piece. Do you know the model is homaging? So this bad boy here is actually homaging a Zenith Revival DeFi model. And that is a superb watch, but it costs around $7,000. Now, this piece here is obviously just 120 bucks, but the orange highlights, the blue or black dial here, they're striking. The full setup here, the precision of this case is just so strict, and the bezel action of this unidirectional 120 click bezel is insane. It is so precise. The white threading is super cool. It's very convenient to hold. Even the white threading, they are very notchy, these threads, and it's just wow. Very nice, very clicky, very metally. but most importantly, there's hardly any playback, and that is just awesome cool. As I've just mentioned, it is offered with a black or blue dial. The orange highlights provide a sporty yet sophisticated appeal. This is a true diver with a box sapphire crystal. The crystal is flat, just a millimeter or so above the ceramic bezel. Its flatness, the narrow insert, angled and extreme contours of the chiseled case are so distinct and different in a good way to anything we've seen out there to date. We get 200 meters of water resistance, warranted by a screw-in crown and a screw-down case back. The bezel rotation is so consistent and heavy, and once again, it's just so precise. There is no backplay. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 42 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 47.1, a height of 12.3, and a lug width of 20 millimeters, tapering down to 18 at the clasp. The inverted end links make this largish in diameter watch an easy wearer for almost any wrist size. Powered by the dependable Seiko NH35 self-winding automatic, it is priced at $120. For number 4, I'll raise some eyebrows with a watch for $30. There is no crystal on this watch. You can literally poke your fingers at the hands. No hands really. It's ball bearings instead of hands. Very interesting indeed. The ball bearings find their place by the magnetic pull. The E-Tour EO25 is a quartz beta with an appeal to your innovative, or rather the creative side. There is no seconds hand here, just hours and minutes. Hours on the outer perimeter and minutes on the inner ring. For the $30, we do have to live with an alloy case and a plastic push-pull crown. But then you don't see a watch like this every day. For number 5, let's go to the most affordable watch in this collection, $18. And this is a very basic field watch. Now, to be fair, I've reviewed 2 Rollstimi watches before, but they were the premium ones that cost 60, 70, 80 bucks. This one is a Rollstimi and it cost me $18. I thought I'm just going to bring it in. It looks interesting enough on the renders. What was I expecting? I wasn't expecting much, because at that price point we usually get, very chromy, very cheap looking watches. But surprise, surprise, or no surprise, this is also a very cheap looking watch. I'm not impressed in any shape or form. There is nothing special about it, but at the same time, it's not completely bad. It's just a quartz watch with a decent dial. The strap does mention genuine leather. I don't believe it. It feels carbony. The white stitching though could look interesting, but most likely you are going to be swapping out this strap for something more interesting. An interesting point is that it does actually get a signed push-pull crown, and it's an alloy case. There is nothing spectacular about this watch. The crystal on here is mineral. It's a mere watch for $18. And I was expecting more from Rollstimi, because in my eyes, Rollstimi just, wow, it created really good loom, really good design, strong components. And then I get this. Yeah, it's $18, but it doesn't feel like a Rollstimi. Anyways, this is it. This is the collection that I wanted to talk to you about today. The watches are ranging from $18 to $120. All the links to the listings are in the description below the video, so do check them out if you're after any of these pieces. Now, the links provided are affiliate links, meaning that if you make a qualified purchase, I do get some kickback from AliExpress, but I use that commission to buy more watches to show to you, my viewers. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.